And finally, Ekta, Yes Bank had its AGM. I guess pre-approved decisions got shareholder nod?
Yes, absolutely. The shareholder approval was to raise fresh equity aggregating $1 billion or up to $1 billion. Also issue of non-convertible debentures and bonds up to 10,000 crores. Increase of borrowing limit to 50,000 versus the current 30,000 crores. Increase in foreign portfolio investor and FII investment limit to 74%. Remember, most of these had already been approved in the board meet in April post the Q4 numbers of a QIP of $1 billion. Increase in the FII, FPI limit to 74%. And if you look at their, capital adequacy ratio, it stands at 15.6% with Tier 1 at 11.5%. The management said that they're raising it to enhance capital raising for future growth, which is the enabling resolution for the QIP. And there were fears of equity dilution because remember they had raised $500 million in 2014 itself, which had resulted around 12.4% dilution on an expanded capital base. So there were fears of dilution. But remember that post Q4, one of the brokerages had written that they do not view the capital raising as negative for Yes Bank. In fact, it will be supportive for any such raise and will encourage investors to participate in the offering because, at this point in time, world over, banks are raising money to meet solvency requirements, whereas Yes Bank is meeting it to meet growth requirements.
All right, thanks a lot for that, Ekta. Yes, only for banks raising of capital, especially when their prices are so good, should not be considered negative anyway because capital is raw material for banks. That's what helps them to lend. In any case, the Yes Bank AGM also approved the appointment of a couple of new directors, but in a separate case, which is the Madhu Kapoor versus Rana Kapoor case, the court has held that these two directors can't assume office till June 18th. I don't expect that to have a stock market impact, but nevertheless, that continued boardroom battle is an overhang on the market sentiment. Perhaps it won't affect the performance of the company. Okay, the other stock on Mangalam's radar is Eros International.
That's correct, Lada. So while shareholders of Sun TV don't want the channel to go off air, shareholders of Eros International don't want the channel to go on air. Because you look at the shareholder activism that stalled the company's TV foray. The Eros International had plans of setting up a movie and music channel for an investment of about $15 million. Now, shareholder activism reports indicate that has asked the company to stall this TV foray, and they want the company to focus on what they do best, which is film production, and they also want the company to get into digital streaming online, something like a Netflix, because now they're betting on their digital platform called Eros Now, which has a library of about 3,000 films, so they think that can work. Also, additionally, reports suggest that the company is seeking expert opinion on delisting their Indian unit. Eros International is based both in the US and India, so there could be, these are again reports, nothing confirmed by the management, that the company is seeking an expert opinion on delisting their Indian unit via ADRs or share swap deals or perhaps even buyback.
All right, guys, thanks for putting all of those stocks in front of us. Here's a quick recap of our top 10 stocks today. We have Maruti, Sun TV, Yes Bank, Jindal Stainless, Nestle, Walcott, Eros International, Tata Motors DVR and Axis Bank.